Good.
Evening, everybody. Welcome to round 5, Rainlight Racing's LMU Series 2025, Bahrain. Temporarily lost Davo for a second, but hey, good to have you all on board. Good evening, Wazza, Bobby Louise, Isaac. Those of you who have already tuned in, jumped on the comments, appreciate your support. Looking for a big night here, Bahrain. First time, once again, a couple of firsts this season already. Obviously, previous week, Fuji. Davo and myself hadn't called that one before. And then we go to Bahrain, another track we haven't called before. So really looking forward to this one. We'll be a little bit in the dark on the, I guess, on the calls, on the corners and the numbers. However, we will pick up the action for you, ladies and gentlemen, with this, as I mentioned, round 5 here at Bahrain. So good field out there, 19 cars out on track and look to be all out on an out lap at the moment, circulating, firing up, getting ready to bank some quali laps. Obviously, format tonight, we do have this 15-minute qualifying session, backed up by a 60-minute race governed by the virtual energy and the fuel, Davo.
Yes, J-Man. Absolutely. Yes, thank you for the intro there, brother. Just sorting a couple of little techie issues which have been niggling us for the past week or so, but we are working through them. And yes, welcome aboard everybody to Rainlight Racing's 2025 LMU Series. We are at Bahrain for a 60-minute race here in Season 9, Round 5. We're going to thank, of course, the good people at SIMBLACKS for jumping on board. As always, giving away a mystery prize at the end of the series. Non-performance based mystery prize too, mind you. Anybody could win this prize. Also, look, get involved with the boys here at Rainlight Racing. Join up to their Instagram and their social pages. And, yeah, give them some support, give them some love. As always, MATCHFIT Entertainment here tonight, streaming it to you live on the YouTubes. And J-Man, like you mentioned, rolling out into qualifying already.
100%, mate. So, like I said, they're all out there. And just trying to get a read. Looks like we've got a fair few already on that hot lap. So already crossed the line, ready to go again. So just trying to get a little bit of an idea.
Yep.
As to the layout of the track. So just trying to pick up and see format here. Obviously, around 5.5 k's, there or thereabouts, and 15 turns here at the circuit, and a scheduled race for 6 p.m. So I just wonder what that looks like in the Bahrain. As to whether we're under lights here.
Well, quite possibly. I know a lot of the splash graphics you've been seeing so far feature all the vehicles under lights. So I'm suspecting that might be the case here tonight, J-Man. And look, if you've ever watched Bahrain on the television, you will know that it looks spectacular under lights. Very good track to watch under lights here. So yeah, look, that will be a spectacle if that's the case.
Okay, so the first time's coming through across this Macaloss, provisionally goes to the top on a 201.8. Goes to row close behind 202.2. And then
Steve Crossland.
The man with a bit of form of late.
Yes, particularly the last couple of weeks, mate. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Stunning performance a couple of weeks ago, and then backed it up with the top 5 at Fuji. Did lead the race for a little bit. Had an exceptional quality session as well. So, yeah, good to see Crossy with a bit of form. But Isaac at Chikawa goes to the top now, 201.3. So we're going to see these times dropping. So maybe this looking like they're just cycling these things up to get
Yep.
some tyre temp in. Still 10 minutes to run in this session, David, so plenty of time. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see a couple of these drivers go back for a set of gumboots. So.
Oh, for sure, J-Man, as we just see Frodo sneak across the line. Yes, heading into his first lap, I think, as well. But yeah, look, the usual suspects here. Ichikawa, Clark. Now, Clark last week, spectacular effort from Clark last week to take the win at Fuji. So nice work. We will be watching him. And like J-Man mentioned, Crossy in a good chunk of form recently as well. Usual suspects, though. Makalos, Bewley, Gunther Rowe as well, looking pretty spectacular last week at Fuji. So we'll be keeping an eye on him. Craig McConnell in a 77 Mustang, always one to look out for. Goddard currently sitting provisionally 8th in qualifying in this 15-minute session, and it is winding down quickly as well. It's we're about halfway through, or thereabouts. Nick Firth, provisional 9, and Joseph Marnie in one of the other Porsches there, rounding out the top 10 provisionally, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, these things could change any moment. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on. As always,
improvements there already last lap around. So obviously Bewley just going a little bit better, 2 minute.
Yep.
0.7.
Sneaking up in a second. Yep.
Yeah, 2 minute point 0.6. So drop it down. Will we see some 159s? I think the potential's maybe there in a perfect scenario. The track conditions look pretty damn good at the moment.
They do.
So
they do.
let's try and get a
Just going to read on Frodo here.
Air temp is 38 degrees. It is warm. 48 degrees track.
Okay, so
no chance of rain in the desert.
Frodo just sneaking shy of the top 10 into 11th there on that last lap. So he still has some work to do, J-Man.
He does. Just having a look too. So, waiting for Merlin, aka Lee Perkins, to actually bank a lap time. And I see he's on an out lap, but he's left us run late. I'm not sure what the theory behind that was, but here he comes across. Now, this is, according to my data, is an out lap, so I'm not expecting
to
start.
Look, I'm seeing the same thing. A couple other names to look out for. Look, Danny Bateman as well, Daniel Hemi Bateman, definitely one to keep an eye out for. And Ken Worcester, actually, stellar job last week, was right in the thick of that mental as AF mid-pack that happened last week. It was next level stuff. So we expect to see more from Danny Bateman once again, and Ken Worcester, obviously. So all those guys, stellar job.
What has Bewley got as he comes across the line one more time? And they're on a 2 minute 0.7. Goes better, goes up to P2 with a 2 minute 0.4.
Nice work.
But it's Ichikawa still holding by the slenderest margin of a couple of tenths at the moment in the top spot. However, don't forget about Matty Clark, Gunther Rowe, Steve Crossland. He's back in the pits. Goddard, what's he got? He's had a good turn of speed of late as well on the Mustang. So obviously we're only a couple of weeks into this latest update for LMU, where we did see the tyre take a big update,
big change,
so to speak. So
So
we certainly like what we saw, didn't we, Dave?
Oh, we did last week, the first week of the said update, J-Man. So big learning curve for the boys and girls last week. But here we are, round 2, Bahrain. A lot of these guys and girls as well, quite come from ACC backgrounds, and a lot of these people have not driven the likes of Fuji and the likes of Bahrain in a GT3 car. So there's massive learning curves going on here across the field. And obviously not just with the platform, but track knowledge as well. So
Yeah,
makes
evening,
for
Lily.
interesting racing, doesn't it?
Yeah, so Crossan went back out. It's still 4 3/4 minutes to go. So Paul Crossan back in the pits not so long ago. He's grabbed another set of boots, and I almost wonder whether he actually just made a couple of changes to the setup of the car. He was in there longer than a tyre change. So just maybe looking for a little bit of something out of the McLaren with Steve Crossan. Currently in there provisionally on a 201 with a 3. So we'll see what that does. He needs to go probably 2 tenths better to grab Gunther Rowe. He certainly needs a good half a second, 6.5 tenths to try and grab Matty Clark out of P3. So anyway, we'll see if he can bolster himself up onto the second row. Provisionally sitting on the third row is Steve Crossan. So we'll watch that space. But what has Nick Firth got? It's another name that's just kept his nose clean last week and did a solid job, did Nick Firth. And be interesting to see a guy with a lot of pedigree in his racing. You know, he's done plenty, and look, he came off to a bit of a rough start in this LMU series, but look, he's coming on strong at the right time, I believe.
Absolutely.
So good to see Nick Firth
Absolutely.
just, press on in the right direction that he's trending.
Pete Dawson as well, another mention. Last week got tangled up. Oh, look, I think first lap, and then maybe about halfway through the race as well. Showed some good form, but was pretty much in recovery mode the whole race. Even when he made some gains after the early incident, got knocked back down and continued that fight back. So another one to watch, J-Man. But let's look at the boys up the
59.9 for Ichikawa.
Wow, there it is. There it is.
Sorry, Dave, I just saw that come up on my data, and he put that car straight into the pits.
That's it.
Lap, so
that's it.
I don't think you're going to see him come back out, because I reckon he's probably thinking that's enough.
Oh, with only a couple of minutes and a half yet to go, he's done. Bewley on screen at the moment in the port. Clark, another one to watch as he runs across the line here, J-Man.
Yeah, here comes Bewley.
So Clark not making it. Bewley.
Well, he doesn't improve either. Actually, no improvement there. However, still a couple of minutes to go. So out there, still with plenty of time to try and improve. Looking at, so Gunther Rowe back in the pits now. Steve Crossan, he's still out there circulating. I'll pick up where he is. Okay, so he's in that mid phase of the track, I think. Mid to back. Sector 2.
And Crossan provisionally 5th at the moment. I think that's about where he finished last week. It was either 4th or 5th. Yep. So
5th, yep. So here he comes. He's coming across the line. Needs to go better than a 201.3. What's he got? Okay, he's come across for a 202.1. So maybe that was an out lap, and this is the push lap.
With only under 1 minute to go in this qualifying session, we have Ichikawa top spot, Bewley second, Clark third, Gunther Rowe in 4th in the Porsche. Crossan provisional 5th on screen at the moment. Mr. Macrolos in 6th provisionally. Goddard, Firth, Fernando and Pete Dawson rounding at the top 10. So 9th and 10th for Shane and Pete there respectively. Nice work to get those cars into the top 10 from those two boys. They're working hard for their times, Joe, man, I suspect.
Shane just coming across the line for another one. No improvement there. So stays P9 provisionally. Gets across the line with only around about 5 or 6 seconds to go, so he'll get one more if he wants it. Community park car, Lady Clark's parked. Gunther Rowe, as I mentioned, he was already in the pits. Croston still pressing on.
And it does look like Fodado is continuing on. And who was that tucked in behind him? That is Marnie, actually. Looks like he might have snuck across the line just in time. And one of the other Astons there as well in the background.
Pete Dawson, was it?
It might be Dawson,
I'm not sure if they had enough time, but Dawson's about to come across the line.
Yep, there you go. And I think I just saw Fodado spin the car. So there is Fodado around. No change in those 2 times there. That might be, I don't know who that is in the other.
Okay, wasn't,
not sure. Either way, Joseph Marnie still out on one of very few. Oh, Nick Firth. Shane Fodado just continues to circulate, obviously just to get some time up his sleeve on this track. He is actually tucked in behind Marnie there. So these guys are on laps, both Firth and Marnie. Where is Marnie sitting at the moment? Provisional 14th. Crossing already in the pits. So the eyes are on Marnie and Firth. I think the next 2 cars to come across the line, I would suspect, Jay.
I think they're about to come through.
I think they're the only 2 cars on track at the moment. So here we go. Marnie, good tidy lap. Both tidy laps from both the boys there.
So Marnie
jumps.
I'm not sure. He went to 13th. Firth went to 5th.
Oh, wow.
Knocked Steve Croston down a spot.
Wow.
So 201.348.
Oh, mate, he'll be...
Croston's 201.376.
He'll be more than happy with that. So, nice work. Nice work. We will have a quick toot-toot and look at the points as the boys just refuel those cars, get a new set of boots on them and such. Yeah, just a quick look at the points there, ladies and gentlemen. While you're there, click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit your notifications. Do all that stuff. Keep the algorithms running, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again here tonight for MatchFit Entertainment's official coverage of Bahrain Light Racing's 2025 Season 9 LMU Series. J-Man mixing it up with the LMU stuff, and we are loving it. I hope you guys are. SIMBLACKS back on board once again with Bahrain Light Racing, as always. And we are here at freaking Bahrain. Actually, just quickly, their Insta. There is the Insta link there. Just get your phone out. All you got to do is just scan that QR code there and get amongst it and support Bahrain Light Racing. We will get a calendar up just quickly there. So, yeah, June 23rd. I think that's today. Is that today? It is today. That's right. Because we're at Bahrain. And then next week we'll be at Qatar, Circuit of the Americas, somewhere probably a little bit more familiar for these drivers from ACC, mostly from ACC Heritage. So, yes, so a little bit of a learning curve over the last couple of weeks. Fuji last week, Bahrain this week. And we've got the call. It says get everybody on the grid. So it won't be too long now. And J-Man, what do you see there? It's night time.
Yes.
6 o'clock start.
Under the lights. So this will be, some different shadows now. Brake marks are hopefully
non-existent.
Hopefully these drivers have done a little bit of practice in these conditions, because it will look a lot different out there for them. as they approach certain
Look,
parts of the race.
look, it goes without saying. Yeah, shadows where shadows weren't before, and
Yeah.
and some look, it totally changes the dynamic of the race, doesn't it, J Man? We've done a little bit of night racing ourselves, and it really does add a different spice to the race. And oh God, anything could happen. Anything could happen. Ichikawa and Nathan Bewley, top row.
It's a good starting position for Nathan Bewley as well. Well done to Isaac on the 59. It's a very, very good lap. But looking towards the championship, which you displayed earlier, Nathan Bewley, this bodes well for him to maybe keep the pressure on. There was about a 40-point swing between himself and, I believe, Matty Clark. So Matty Clark in the hunt there, right there, starting on the second row.
Yep.
Right behind, I guess it will be Ichikawa, actually, that he'll be behind. So potential for a run, maybe down the inside of Bewley if Bewley tries to go the outside through 1-2. So that's a right-left switch back here at the start of Bahrain. So just watch that space, because at round 5 they will be starting to think championship mode now. It's we're deep enough into the series for them to start considering what that might look like towards the back run home, the final sort of 5 odd rounds. And look, a little bit of familiarity, as you mentioned, the likes of Coda, Spa, just to name a couple. And then, there'll be a little bit of, there'll be a few drivers out there may be familiar with Interlagos in Brazil, but Qatar will be another one that might throw a cat amongst the pigeons as far as track knowledge. So I really like what I see in the track layout for the rest of the season. However, there'll be some certainty over the next 2-3 circuits. But it's all about tonight, and I think this is an opportunity here for the likes of Isaac Ichikawa, racing out of about 5th in the championship on about 900 odd points. The leader's up around 1150, somewhere around there. So opportunity to try and make some bank tonight as they roll down through this final sector up to the line. I will give the start procedure back to you, Davo, to call this one in.
Thanks, J-Man. The boys forming up as we speak. Ichikawa, Bewley, Clark, Rowe, Firth, Crossland, Macrolos, Goddard, and Fonato. Oh, don't forget Pete Dawson rounding out the top 10. We've got a green light, J-Man, and it is on here for round 5 at Bahrain. And man, these things are noisy. As we run down to the first corner and look at Clark immediately showing some intent, trying to duck out from behind. Bewley puts pressure on Ichikawa. And Bewley past J-Man in the Porsche, getting it done.
Got it done.
Immediately. Look at the down though. It is on. Gloves are off. It just reminds me of last week already. These guys are only into turn 3 and it's on in the mid-pack.
Crossan got Firth for P4 at the start of that one as well, so he managed to grab that spot. Firth,
very nice.
Crossan got it straight back.
Oh, who's that around? That is McConnell around. Just picking that up on camera there.
You see that? Yeah. You see Gunther Rowe. Rowe may be involved in that. He's a long way back as well. Ken Worcester meant to mention as well, started from pit lane.
And it looks fan-bloody-tastic here.
It does.
Lights on here at Bahrain. 6 o'clock start.
Pressure on up the front, Dave, so Ichikawa got his pocket picked at the start, but I tell you what, he's going with
it's just
Nathan
like,
Bewley.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. He's on it. Matty Clark, winner of last week's race. Look, just tucked in behind there. Crossland got gifted a position up into 4. Getting over Nick Firth there in that first lap. So a little bit of a change in position, a couple of little changes in position. Up the pointy end, Bewley over Ichikawa and Steve Costle over Nick Firth. But it is all happening down the back here.
Oh, Ichikawa, can he have a look into one under brakes? No, he was just a little bit too far back. However, he did show the nose.
3 wide with Sam Wozniak. I think that is Bateman and Kramer.
Yeah.
Somebody just...
Lily Glass on the outside as well.
In the BMW, I think Lily just said, look, I'm out. I'm out of that.
Yep.
No, she was the one that snuck past the Beamer, so did really well.
But who's this? This is Gunther Rowe on Sam Wozniak now. He's got to run down the inside. So he just managed to... Sam actually conceded that pretty early.
So Gunther, not sure what happened with Gunther there. He was on the grid and then off the grid and then back on the grid, so...
Yeah.
Bit of an up and down start for Gunther, probably a little bit rattled as he still continues to put pressure on the back of Kramer's car. Oh, he's having a go here. Kramer's just going, look, you have that, you chase Lily.
He's definitely moving forward.
And now Kramer has Wozniak to think about. And Wozniak is looking spicy.
Oh, who's that? Fotodo's gone wide. Macrolos through, and also I think that's Joseph Marnie through as well.
So nice work from Macrolos and Marnie there. Shane looked like, oh, he still see it there, just in the background. He's in the blue Aston Martin there behind those boys. Struggling with that car at the moment, J-Man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Who's not struggling, and that's Matty Clark just starting to range up on the back of Isaac Ichikawa and Nathan Bewley, so 2 will become 3, just ever so slightly, just drop across them by, I don't know, maybe half a second on that last one, but he's moving forward. It's not that Crossy's going backwards, it's just the fact that I think Matty Clark just found a little bit of pace. However, they do bottleneck up again
into
down to 2-1.
Yep.
Get a little bit closer. Crossy's still right there, but the top 4 have definitely pulled margin over Nick Firth, who's just got a bit of fresh air now.
Oh, look at and he'll need it, because look at that trainer cars in behind him there. Yeah, starting Goddard off with Goddard, then Macrolos, Marnie, Fotodo, and the like. Fotodo actually just dropping back there a little bit. Look at Marnie though on Macrolos now, starting to show some intent in the orange and black Porsche, and looking solid. Oh, yeah, a little bit of a wriggle there from Macrolos as well. Out of the right-hander.
Sorry, I just seen Crossy very deep under brakes down at the hairpin.
As is, that was Shane Fotodo running very deep in the hairpin as well, a J-Man. So that corner cut, like catching a couple of, and look, seasoned drivers too, mind you, in Crossland and Fotodo too. So just getting caught out there a little bit. Tricky little track, Bahrain. A little over 5 minutes into this 60-minute race. No CPS as such, but these guys will be forced to visit the pit lane to refuel and top up their VE. Just by the nature of the length of the race here and what is LMU, and we are loving it so far. It really does show some strategy into even a 1 hour race. These guys having to think about it. Yep.
Okay, so just looking back through, so Marnie, Macrolos,
Fotodo's found his feet, J-Man.
Yeah, he has. He's kind of just pulled himself together there and looks good. So trying to come to terms with the LMU platform is Shane. We know he's a very, very established racer in the likes of ACC and other platforms. So he's just, yeah, coming to terms with this, and when he's on, he's on. But he's got good company there with Joseph Marnie and Kostas Makrolos. And look, Marnie now having a big look down the inside.
Oh, and just whips it up.
Yeah, gets the right pedal down a little bit too quickly that time around. It's looking good.
And again into that hairpin. Fonato just run very deep, had to take evasive action not to tag the back of Marnie's Porsche there. But look at Marnie now, like really had that Porsche has come on in this first 5 minutes, shows the nose. Makrolos looked like he had to give him a little bit of space there. Didn't want to give him the whole corner though, so it's still on.
Yeah. Great bit of racetrack this. Come out of this 14-15 to come back across the straight here, and just such a very, you know, that whole final sector through 11, 12 up to 13 just really invites them to just almost run side by side. It's such a wide bit of racetrack, so flowy. Some Davo.
So the battle continues.
Back up as well.
Yep, battle continues between these. Oh, and that's Marnie this time taking evasive action behind Makalos's Mustang. Missing his brake mark, and again we did talk about this top of stream when the guys realised we were up for a night race, or we realised we were up for a night race. And just how the dynamic of the race and what these guys can see out of the cars.
Piece of track here, out of turn 8, dropping down through turn 9, and they're hard on the gas, and then back to the brakes, heavy for turn 10, which is the hairpin, and we just see Marnie get that wrong. Very wide. It's going to give Shane Fonato on 30 here as they run up all the way out of 10 up to turn 11. This next left-hander is actually a little bit slow in but fast out, because this is the part of the circuit up through 11, 12, 13 where it's really flowy and it invites them to switch back over sides, and plenty of option for different lines as they work their way up to what will be a tighter 13 as they come up to the top of the hill here, and hard on the brakes, and then another big straight heading down through underneath the Avis overpass there, and they'll head down to turn 14, 15 to make the final 2 turns. Right-handers onto the front straight. And I'll tell you what, Fonato had the measure there. I thought Marnie's looked really good on that cross.
No, totally.
Once Shane Fonato actually got through, he actually looked good. So it's on. Let's see what he can make of this. Still around 7 to 8 tenths of a second up the front. So that Nathan Juliet Chikawa back battle is still strong, but it's around that 8 tenths to a second. Matty Clark just falling off the back of that a little bit, and then Crossy a little bit further back from there. Firthy still got this about the same margin behind Cross and about the same margin ahead of George Goddard. So he's just sitting comfy in P5. So Nick Firth looking good here at the moment. Obviously there's a lot to play. We talked about virtual energy, fuel loads, tyre situations and stuff. And, you know, look, it is hot out there. Race trim wise, what did we see? We saw around about 38 ambient, 45 track. Now we're seeing 37 temp for the ambient, and we're seeing 36 air and 30 degrees tracks. Not often you see a cooler track in the air.
True. So yeah, look, just eyes on Nick Firth at the moment, and he will be happy in that clean air there at the moment. He's in a good position. He can see the leaders just up in front of him, and he really needs to keep that distance between that train of cars behind him. First car obviously is Goddard, so him and Goddard like in a real nice sweet spot in this race at the moment, I feel, J-Man.
Yeah, they are actually, and just look, they'll be able to, I don't think overuse the car in that situation. Firth's probably in a rhythm, and so is Goddard. I think, probably at this point in time, Firth can see Croston just trying to make inroads into Matty Clarkin's probably just happy to settle in. However, Goddard may be a little bit slightly different mindset. He's probably looking at Firth and thinking, top five would be good right now at this point of the race.
Oh, yeah.
We're only around about 13 odd minutes into this 60-minute race. It's still a long way to go, but look, it has settled down. It's found its rhythm already.
Yep.
To the tune of obviously the front two separated by around that second. It looks like 1.3 at the moment, and then just those 2 to 2 second margins throughout the field. As I'm looking down through the totem, I think it's clearly Shane Fodado's on the move. He's starting to make inroads to Matt Coloss. Still taking Joseph Marnie with him, and obviously Gunther Rowe, whatever issues he had at the start of this one, he's looking to recover, but he's back up to P12. And Pete Dawson, often the quad achiever there, he's 11th outright in 203.4 for his personal best. Is not too shabby actually. He's clearly, other than Gunther behind him, who's on there on a 202.4 as his personal best. I think Pete Dawson's clearly that's where his pace is at. We start looking into the O2s after that, but certainly Nathan Bewley in there on a 201.1, 201.3 for Ichikawa. They are the class of the field at the moment as far as the times are concerned.
What's going on with that? That's Ichikawa. Marnie going backwards there, J-Man. So it's had a big slip there. I think that might have been in the hairpin.
Okay, he's not lost too much to Shane and Matt Coloss, but he's definitely lost a little bit of margin because he was closer than that.
Yep.
So, had a bit of a moment down potentially at turn 10. 8 or 10 are both options to really
bugger it up.
or bugger it up, mate. Right there. So, hey, look, a fantastic circuit here in Bahrain. I think under lights is the way to do it.
Oh,
it
totally.
Look spectacular.
Yeah, look, I must agree. Looks fantastic. The platform itself, LMU, looks stunning. Glowing brake discs. Really nice quality tracks, and as we just see that camera shot there, laser beams flashing across the sky as well, just to top it off here for round 5 in Rainlight Racing's 2025 Season 9 LMU Series. J-Man, brought to you by SIMBLACKS and obviously broadcast to you live on the YouTubes by us, Davo and J-Man from MATCHFIT Entertainment. Marnie just trying to keep a handle on this thing. We were just talking about Firth and Goddard being in a nice sweet spot in their race at the moment. That continues on. But Bewley running away with it. Out in front with, what have we got? A little over 15 minutes already run in this race. So we are 25% through the race so far.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eye on Matt Coloss and Fodado, obviously, just to see what that looks like with Goddard. Goddard's around about that 1.6 seconds off at Firth, so I'm just watching the 3.2, 3.3 seconds that Matt Coloss is off the back of Goddard, just to see what that looks like. Obviously, personal best for Matt Coloss, 202.9, 202.7 for Shane Fodado. So those guys at optimal trim are reasonably quick. Goddard 202.6, and then Firthy definitely quicker at a 202.2. So just looking at seeing how this is shaking out. Hemi Bateman, this is a car that we'd often see a lot further up, but however P13, he's behind Pete Dawson. Now Gunther Rowe, I think the last time I checked on him, he was behind Pete Dawson. Now he's in front of him, so Gunther Rowe up to P11, knocking on the top 10 if he can make his way up to Mitchie Smith. He can see him up ahead in the distance on the front straight, so it's the next target for Gunther Rowe on the road to recovery after what was a pretty shaky start to this race. And funnily enough, Mitchy Smith. He's got some pace on, and he's got eyes on Joseph Marnie, Davo.
So he might be a new contender in that battle, J-Man, as we just get eyes on none other than Kenny Worcester. They're in the lone Tokyo Taxi, the Lexus. Bam, does that thing sound sweet or what? Another lone car would be Danny Bateman there as well, J-Man, in the lone Ferrari. So kudos to these boys. Throwing it out there.
Bateman and the Corvette, mate. Yep.
Oh, sorry, Bateman and the Corvette. Yes, should I say? I stand corrected. There is a Ferrari in here somewhere.
Sam Wozniak.
Wozniak. Yeah, I think that's a lone Ferrari too, isn't it? So.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. So yeah, good on these guys. Let's just get some eyes on Mr. Wozniak here, number 54 in the Vista Ferrari. Holding down 15th position as we speak. There's been some movement and shaking up the mid-pack, particularly Costas, Shane Florido and Joseph Marnie's trading position.
Costas just gets it loose, and Shane Florido says, thank you very much, I'll take that, and goes through for P7. So that was out of the right-hander, which would have been, I think, turn 7.
So just that little shake, isn't it, J-Man?
No, it wasn't. No, actually, it was around the back. It was around about turns 12 or 13. So
oh, here we go, because they're running across the start-finish line now.
Yep. So Shane Florido certainly racing a lot better than he qualified. And he's on the mission.
Taking a while to find his feet, though. But look, Marnie will be kicking himself, won't he? And the red mist will be on.
Yeah, well, so will Macrolos, because, I mean, you know, they both made the mistakes, him and Marnie and Macrolos. So
yep.
Obviously, Macrolos the latest to just step over the boundary line a little bit too far. And Shane Florido, once again, yes. I believe it was a very similar scenario when he passed Marnie.
He's just there, isn't he, though? He's got the pace, and he's just there. He might not have the pace to challenge, but if these boys make a mistake, he's right there to take that advantage.
Yep.
So, nice work from Shane as he tears out of the right-hander there. Slowly coming to grips with the game.
And turn 8, down through turn 9, braking hard for turn 10, the hairpin.
Just quick update on Firth Goddard, J-Man.
Yep. Yeah, that's closing up.
That's going close. Now, we just look at that camera shot. That is the boys we were just talking about, the Florido Macrolos Marnie battle. You can see it in back a shot when these guys are coming down the straight. So
Marnie just had to just turn the steering wheel right instead of left, I think, just to miss the back of the Mustang of Costas Macrolos there. So
pushing.
That battle is tightening up, albeit Shane Florido got through on a mistake from Macrolos. As did
and Marnie.
On Marnie. So, yeah, so take the mistakes out. Those two cars behind Florido have got some pace. And that is Matty Clark in the pits. Davo, so he's opted for
early stop.
Early stop, you could argue, because it's only just under.
We must be only about 20 minutes. Yep. 20 minutes in, so that's about a third of the way through so far. That's Marnie in the background as well. J-Man, just a quick flash of the headlights there as he rolled across the start-finish line, the pit entry line there. So another early stop. Quick stop from Clark too, J-Man.
Yeah, still pumps a lot of fuel into it and gets a lot of energy. He's got around about 90% virtual energy left, and obviously with only probably around about what?
We've got 40 minutes just to race, eh?
Yeah, so about 70% of the race, 80% of the race left. I think he's looking good. They'll be calculated in respect to the energy and the fuel load that they've taken on.
For sure. Marnie, Trundles, down the pit lane and out. Back in the race. Do you think he just wanted to get out of the intensity of that battle, maybe just to refocus and just drive his own race? It really was an intense sort of situation there with Makalos and Fronado going at it for pretty well the whole race so far. So the last 20 minutes has been pretty full on for Marnie and those boys. So Marnie in the number 91 Porsche, back out on track. A couple of quick early stops there, J-Man.
Yep.
Oh, I see a little bit of wing sitting in the background there somewhere. Who is that? That's Glass. That is a bit of wing that I saw on the outfield there, and that is Lily Glass.
In the rear wing, yep. That thing would be dangerous.
Oh, so yes, wouldn't it be dangerous, J-Man? You know what these things are like. So set up and built to have a whole bunch of wing on the back of them. You take that off, that's a totally different animal to drive, if it's drivable at all.
It doesn't look good. I'm just on board with a little bit of motor. It's a bit left hand down.
Fronado in the pits as well, J-Man. Just pulling the car up on the jacks now. So plenty going on here. So that's again a relatively, well, what I would think is a pretty relatively early stop. Shane, not on the jacks for long either, man. That was quick.
No, I just noticed the energy too. Doesn't look like a lot on board, 53%. So I'm not sure what the theory there is. I don't think 53% will do it from this point out. 36.5 minutes remaining. Maybe he's looking to conserve somewhere. I'm not sure, but,
yeah, we're talking about Shane Fronado. You say conserve as he just slides it out of one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in his DNA, J-Man, to be honest.
No, 100%. Just give us a minute, Dave.
You go. So back to the top spots, ladies and gentlemen. And again, thank you. Thank you, viewers, for joining us here again at MATCHFIT Entertainment. Davo and J-Man bringing it to you live for Rainlight Races 2025 Season 9 LMU Series. We are at Bahrain. It is round 5 and we are under lights. It is spectacular. Nathan Bewley, as you can see on screen there, leading the way in the 92 Porsche and doing a stellar job of it, pipping Ichikawa outer T1 right on the opening lap, and just really had to look back. There is Ichikawa tucked in behind him in the Lamborghini. These guys are very equally paced. Steve Crossland, with a couple of pit stops, has found himself in 3rd position. Nick Firth up into 4th with Goddard, and the ever-present George Goddard tucked in behind him, and he's actually a lot closer than he has been for the last 25 odd minutes. So again, welcome viewers. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for supporting MATCHFIT Entertainment and Rainlight Racing. Check the link in the description down there. Click on Rainlight Racing's Instagram link, sign up and follow what's going on with the boys and girls over and on Insta. We're going to thank SIMBLACKS once again for being on board with Rainlight Racing as always. Mystery prize coming up at the end of this season. Nobody knows what it is. We don't know. You don't know. The Rainlight boys know. But if it's coming from SIMBLACKS, you know it's going to be freaking awesome. So stay tuned. Hit the like button. Grab a drink. We have over 30 minutes of racing yet to go here for round 5 at Bahrain under lights. Nick Firth still holding off Goddard. Bewley still leading the race, but look what's going on down the back here. We've got Makalos in 6th, Mitchell Smith in 7th, Gunther Rowe in 8th. We've got Pete Dawson in 9th. In one of the Astons, Mr. Bateman in the Corvette. As always, representing the Chevy brand. Holding down the top 10.
Hey, what did I miss? What did I miss?
What did you miss? What did you miss? Nothing really. The boys in situ at the moment. Just calling it through. Kramer in 11th. Clarkey, one of the pit stop cars there in the Aston Martin in 12th position. Wozniak in 13th. Fodado also a pitted driver, as is Marnie in 15th position, as we just see him rip on past in the 91 Porsche.
Goddard all over Nick Firth, Davo. Now I see.
Oh, mate, this has not gone away, this little battle here between Goddard and Firthy. Goddard has snuck up on the back of Firth. Really hasn't sort of shown any major intent yet, but he is there. Firth would not want to set a wheel wrong here, J-Man. We've seen it already in the mid-pack with Makalos and Marnie just having those little slip-ups, Fodado all over it, and if Firth does the same thing, watch Goddard sneak past in that Mustang, quick as a flash.
Yeah, look, he's right with them as they come up through this roller coaster here, through 12, 13, and they will do this run down. Where are we? Hang on. Yeah, I believe I am in the right spot.
I think you were pretty close there, J-Man.
Run down here.
Up over the hill.
Who was that up the road? I saw ahead of them was Steve Crossan, okay, coming around the final turn. So they have actually still got eyes on Crossy. There is a good margin there, but no movement there.
And no one rolling off into the pits there either, so it is line astern. These guys are still going on it. You can see Makalos in the background. You can see Smith, Gunther Rowe and Pete Dawson. Makalos is the only one that hadn't pitted out of the battle that was going on mid-pack earlier between himself, Shane Fodado and Joseph Barney. So, just trying to cut some laps here, I suspect, is Mr. Makalos in the 88 Mustang. Without any pressure, just trying to make some gains on track before he rolls into the pits. J-Man, no. So there's only a handful of cars. I think there's only 4 cars that have pitted so far. Mentioned just 2 of them there in Fodado and Marnie, and I think it was Clark, actually, that snuck into the pits as well. So where is Matty Clark at the moment? Holding down 12th, just sneaking up behind Kramer, giving it a quick flash of the headlights going, Adrian, I'm here, brother. Can I just can I just sneak past? They are racing with position. Kramer under no obligation at all, ladies and gentlemen, to move over Matty Clark. So, yeah, Kramer unpitted. Clark looking.
Searching, absolutely searching. Goes to the inside down here at turn 8.
Tricky, tight little thing that, isn't it? Turn 8 there.
Yeah. And then this one here down to 10. This hairpin here. Clark just has to
prop.
Wide there, just ranged up under brake.
So easy to do because it's that funny little chase or that kink into it. Just begs you to go a little bit deeper, doesn't it? Before you got to stop the car. And that look, he really did suffer to that. Cost him about 4 or 5 car lengths there, Matt Clark. So not ideal, J-Man. Let's get back just quickly mid-pack. Makalos holding down 6th position. Got a little bit of temperature from Smith, and I think that is Gunther Rowe in the Porsche, not too far behind. So he'd want to keep his nose clean, that's for sure. 3 seconds difference between Nathan Bewley and Isaac, actually, J-Man. Yeah. So these guys are not too far apart. 3 seconds is not much. On a track like Bahrain here, under lights, J-Man, looking stunning. Look at the brake discs are glowing on Ichikawa's Lamborghini there. Stunning.
I believe Davo can bring that graphic up for you there, was it? So I got a question in the YouTubes. How do we know who has pitted apart from J-Man? I did pit, actually. I needed a refuel, was it? But I believe if Davo could probably bring up something on the totem there, will give you an idea. And I think you'll find that it's the likes of Fordo, Marnie.
There you go. Did that show up? I think that showed up.
Okay, just give me a few seconds
to
catch up on the YouTubes. And that should give you some sort of idea.
Well, it's showing Fordo actually in the pits. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, Fordo's gone back, and I questioned the virtual energy. So there you go. So you can see the likes of Marnie, Lily Glass, Maddie Clark, Fordo, and Ken Worcester. Obviously, both those last two are in the pit lane. So that gives you an idea who has pitted. To see who's got what going on.
So there you go. There is the pit stops, J-Man. You can see that, and you can see across from Shane Fordo in the number 27 Aston Martin, he has done 2 pit stops right there. Energy remaining. I think I've got this. Let's have a look at energy remaining.
Okay. If you can do that,
I don't know. I'm going to give it a go.
Give it a crack, mate. We'll see what we've got. But
well, this is what it's. This is it. This is what it's giving me. So if you can make any sense of that, it actually doesn't show me anything at all. So we'll just put that down to not freaking working, and we'll go back to.
Come on, Studio 397, give us something.
We are working as hard as we can here, guys. We've got plenty of buttons to click, and we know what most of them are. A couple of laps down.
Firth still going on, Davo. Sorry, I've been fixated on the battle because it's a worthy one.
Update me. We were stuck on Ichikawa as I was flicking through the menus there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, hey, look, these guys are still it. So Goddard still lots of respect here between these two drivers, and he's searching, but like it's just a pressure cooker at the moment. He's just sticking with Firth. He's having a look here and there.
Yeah.
But to be honest, Firthy's not making any mistakes, and
he's not making any mistakes, and that's the key, isn't it?
Now I've said it.
Oh, stop it! Now we're going to have to watch.
So interestingly enough, you see in the background that is Macrolos, Smith, and Rowe for 6th, 7th, and 8th provisionally. Obviously, there's a little bit to play out in that factor. There is the likes of Maddie Clark's going to factor back in that battle, and I believe Shane Fordo is also going to slot in there somewhere. Well, actually no, Shane was, but a second expedition through the pit lane's probably going to take him out of that.
Well, I think that's put the guidebox on that one, so so Worcester down a lap. I think
it is getting busy with Gunther Rowe and co.
Well, I sort of expected it would be after a certain amount of time. Gunther's actually made some healthy gains on Smith there over the last few laps. The number 92 Porsche looking hungry. Gunther Rowe at the wheel as they run across the start-finish line. That is Bakalos. Not that far in front of him. It's Makalos losing speed to these guys. He seems to have come back to them a hell of a lot. And I don't think he's been in the pits.
No,
we can check that again.
No, he is not.
No.
No, Maddie Clark would be the first of the pit stoppers in the order that we run. Currently running out of P11 is the 777 car of Maddie Clark. So, yeah, watch that space because I think he's got a plan. Saw him come in relatively early. So, what's he got energy-wise? Still got 60% with only 24 minutes to run, so I think I like the option for Maddie Clark here. Whatever the strategy he's on looks good. So looking for an undercut situation is Maddie Clark.
Yeah, and Clark actually stopped for what I thought was a healthy amount of time in pits too. Took his time, and the car was on the jacks for a while, so I think he's VE'd and fueled up to the end. Unlike Fordo, who we saw stop very, very briefly, and then and clearly has been back into the pits since to address that short stop. Bateman on Dawson, J-Man.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, so he's right there. He's
well
definitely
there.
right there. Okay, so no movement up the front again. Just trying to see if any of these front runners are looking to go to pitch yet. Firthy's not looking likely. Goddard stays out also. We'll see what McCullough, Smith and Gunther Rowe do. These three are pretty much on the same pace at the moment.
Yeah, but you've got to add Smith and Rowe in there now. You know, like, because, you know, like they are literally tucked up behind Macalos in the Mustang there. And I think that is, then it's the Pete Dawson Bateman battle.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder what the other car. Back shot was. And Ken Worcester just tucked in a lap down, out of position, but tucked in between the Dawson Bateman battle and the Gunther Rose Smith battle as well. So they'll come across him sometime soon. Just get.
No, not many have done their pit stops. You're right there, Warren. Just looking at the energy now, starting to get down. 25% left for Nick Firth. George Goddard, he's 25% remaining. It'll be interesting. They aren't going to have to stop for that long, to be honest. These boys are going to run it pretty deep into this race, and going to be relatively quick on the jack. So I'm just interested to see what it looks like for the likes of Matty Clark.
2/3 of the way through the race. We're nearly 40 minutes in. So we're coming up pretty quick. What have we got? Just over 21 minutes to run. So yeah, definitely running deep into the race for some of these guys.
How far is... Okay, so Joseph Marnie is a fair way off the back of... Okay, off of Kramer and Matty Clark. So the leaders at the moment about to come back up on what will be Shane Fodderdo out of P14, obviously after having to go through pits.
A couple of pit stops.
Twice.
Yep.
So is going to see Nathan Bewley pretty much catch up to the back of Shane Fodderdo, dropping down through turn 8 as we speak. And the run up through this, as you mentioned, kind of chase like double left down through here, 9-10 down to the hairpin.
Yeah, so that looks like they try and get a little bit of a straight line under braking there, and we've seen it a few times where they run a little bit deep because of it. Really hard to try and get that car to turn in for that tighter part of the corner here. Man, these things are loud as they sweep past us there. You can probably hear that on the audio there. Nearly drowning us out there, J-Man. Very, very good mics here at Bahrain, under lights here tonight. Nathan Bewley leading the way.
Under 20 minutes left to go. Does Bewley look for the stop? What's he got? He's got around about 18% energy left. So plenty of time as far as the fuel and the energy's left in the tank. However, starting to think about traffic. Does this inspire him to go? No, he's going to stick with it. So does Ichikawa. Yeah, Ichikawa, what's he got in the way of energy? I don't get a read on that car for whatever reason. That's okay. Firth and Goddard still carry on. So the theory is they're going to run relatively long.
Firth has gained a little bit of distance between himself and Goddard. He will... Well, I don't even think he'll be breathing a sigh of relief. I always say they breathe a sigh of relief. I doubt he will be. Just that handful of car lengths is not enough I think, from Goddard for Nick Firth. He will be sweating bullets and really trying to stay focused. Head down for Nick Firth. We won't keep cameras on him too long. We'll give both these boys the commentator's curse otherwise. Tucked in behind that, not too far, as you can just see as we flick the camera. That's Makalos, Grow and Mitchell Smith.
He's still in the hunt.
So those guys, they are not that far behind Firth and Goddard. Now Firth and Goddard, third and fourth respectively. So yeah, look, just shows you how tight that top 7 is there, J-Man, from 1 to 7.
Hey, an interesting on corrected order. Obviously, post pit stop, Steve Crossan just made his recently, and Matty Clark came out in front. So,
there you go.
Scenario that you were just talking about, the likes of Nick Firth, George Goddard. You beat your bottom dollar on Matty Clark, Steve Crossan are going through on that battle, which relegates, I guess, Firthy back
a position at least. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
To 5th, 6th with Goddard as well. So, just bear that in mind, that's what probably was going to play out at the start of this one based on the Crossan and Clark performance. But
absolutely.
Oh, he shows the car down to pit lane to Goddard. Says, mate,
so that, yeah,
Goddard,
we go. The mind games. The games are on as we start to wind down, and we are winding down. It is getting down towards the 15-minute mark. We've got a yellow flag, I think, flying somewhere. Not sure who that is. Oh, there's one of the Mustangs off track. I think that'll be
Lee Perkins.
That'll be Perko. Just regathering that car. He would have just had the rest of the lead car rolling through, not too far in front of these two boys. So he would have been keeping a pretty close eye on his mirrors, J-Man.
Yep.
This Firth Goddard battle, this has gone on for ages.
Yeah, it's a good battle. Couple of sweet sounding machines too. Down the gearbox to turn 10, the hairpin left.
A couple of these camera angles here, it's nearly deafening. Here we go. Bam! Hear that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So nice work from these two. Billy still in the lead, J-Man.
Yep.
Ichikawa in second. We've been talking a lot about the Firth Goddard battle here because it is raging. Seriously, the two closest cars on track as we speak. Gunther Rowe with Mitchy Smith tucked in behind. Yes. Has that changed positions? Oh, I'm not sure. Costas Makalos.
Oh, now look, Goddard ranges up to the outside.
Oh, here we go. Oh, and Firthy goes in.
Yeah, I think he had to. There was an overlap there. Decided to do the job, get in there. There was definitely an overlap. So whether it was planned or not, I tend to agree. I think he just, like you said, just thought, okay, he's got the overlap. He's gonna contest the next corner. I've got to get in. This is the time. Macrolosson also, so that's going to relinquish the likes of Matty Clark and Steve Crossan through. So they'll go through on the likes of okay, so already through on Macrolosson.
Who else? Is there someone else coming in the background there too, J-Man? Red
Kramer. Adrian Kramer into the pits.
As we see Marnie take that position from Macrolos. These guys were at it tooth and nail earlier in the race. Marnie's done it in the pit. I'm sure Macrolos was losing pace towards the end of his stint there, J-Man.
Yep.
Heading back towards Gunther Road. And the lock was that Gunther Rowe and Mitchy Smith, actually. So I really did think that Mustang slowed down in the back of his stint. So no surprise, Marnie picking up a position.
Yeah, so it'll be
Now,
interesting to see
well, just
Goddard,
remember,
once Goddard comes in.
remembering Shane Frodo's
Here he
now
comes.
out of that equation.
Yep, here comes Goddard. Oh, I tell you what, barely got it down to the speed limit.
So yeah, just reiterating on Marnie there. Marnie and Macrolos were actually fighting it out with Shane Frodo. Shane Frodo's been in the pits twice already this race, so definitely out of that equation. Those boys will carry on. Gunther Rowe also up on the jacks, J-Man, in the number 92 Porsche. So we see Goddard rolling away all.
Yeah, so where is Nick Firth? Because that is the critical battle. He's coming through 14, 15 as we speak. Give us an update. Where is Goddard? Is he on the
running?
outside?
He's running out. He's rolling out.
So he's
on track.
grabbed. He is comfortably grabbed.
Nick in the pits. Yeah, easily.
By a long margin.
Easily. Gunther nearly got him. So,
Yep. So that shook out. Now Matty Clark, that sees Matty Clark up to P4 provisionally. Now just remember this, Mitchy Smith still got to go. And there was a pretty big margin for Ichikawa and Bewley. So that, I think, is going to see Matty Clark definitely jump himself up onto the podium for as many weeks running.
Wow.
Looking for a P3.
for sure.
Don't know if it's better than that.
Smith's
because
out of position
Ichikawa
though,
and
isn't he?
Bewley- Yeah, Smith's not in the equation here as far as a podium.
No.
It's just as to where Matty Clark comes out and respected Isaac Ichikawa and Nathan Bewley, who are both in the lane now.
Oh, here we
Both
go.
coming
Here we go.
in with not a lot of energy remaining as they're building. Good to see you, 10 and a half, 11 minutes. Energy remaining. 30% will do the job, apparently, for Nathan Bewley. And Ichikawa gets out. I don't know what his energy was, but I would suspect it would be similar now. Where is Matty Clark? Matty Clark is coming.
Oh,
Matty Clark is... Where is he? Okay,
Oh, he's
coming
down
to
the,
the final.
he's not close enough. These guys are out. They're on track.
No, they're out.
Clark hasn't even got into the final corner
Yep.
yet, J-Man. He's now on the start finish straight. As we see, I think another one of the Porsches rolling in. Or that might have been... Who was that? That's Mitch, actually. That's Mitchell Smith.
in the
Yep.
Lamborghini. Yep.
Okay, so Clark back in a podium position, but well back for Ichikawa and Bewley. So maybe that early stop, not ideal for
So
Clark.
okay, so Nick Firth should jump leapfrog Hemi Bateman and Mitchy Smith.
And
yeah?
Smith, yes. So he's already
Okay.
passed Smith now.
So, but Goddard really did the business on that in lap. He really just
Who's stayed static here? Is Steve Crossland, J-Man? Like, really?
Yep, made that position on lap 1, and that's where he's remained for the duration of this race.
He has stayed there. So kudos to Crossy there. Just a good, solid race, and really has not showed up on our radar at all. Timing wise, on our deltas, in the action. But here he is, 4th position, J-Man. With what have we got? 8 minutes to go.
Other than the start, he had a very good start, and he
Yep.
just went about his business and challenged Matty Clark in the initial phase, and then they both just created there was an air gap from Ichikawa and Bewley, and then it became Clark and Crossland, and just sort of stayed there. However, they dropped the likes of Nick Firth, and then it was George Goddard. But for me, performance up to this point as well, outside of the top 2 that just clearly in a different postcode, would be George Goddard's drive. That push lap on the in lap to leapfrog Nick Firth, I think, was a pretty good job.
Master.
And even Nick Firth himself would actually
He would call that as well.
He
would agree.
That was a very, very nice time to go for it, and he's done the business there. So yeah, well done to George.
So that is all pit stop strategy. Firth made 0 mistakes on track, J-Man, just to be noted. But clearly in the pits, George Goddard did something else and has made the gain, and made a considerable gain too. It's a good chunk of time. It's about 8 freaking seconds or something. You can see Nick Firth in the back of shot there just now as Goddard runs into one there, and Firth just rolling across the start-finish line. So a big chunk of space between those two cars, and they were nose to tail preceding that. Or there was actually overlap as Firth rolled into the pit lane.
Yep. And the other one also is Gunther Rose drive back to P7. I'm not sure what happened.
I'm not sure what happened either.
But he was a long way back, but he's legitimately in an earned 7th position right now based on this corrected order now that pit stops is done. So well done.
Absolutely. Also another big good gain I would call is Marnie over Macrolos.
Yep.
So nice work from those boys. They were hard at it in the mid-pack with Shane Fonato pretty well the whole mid-third of the race there.
Not done for Marnie either too. He's got eyes on Mitchy Smith, who was super sideways down through turn 8 just a moment ago. Sorry, at turn 6 it was. And now that's allowed Joseph Marnie to really climb up on the back of that Lamborghini, heading down to what will be turns 9-10. So just Joseph Marnie on the move at the back end of this race. So like you mentioned, good drive. Looks good too. Looks really solid, making the apex down to the head.
Look at the gains he just made just into that braking area there, J-Man. Made at least half the distance between those cars. So Marnie pushing in the final stages. Little over 6 minutes to go. Marnie up the inside.
Having a big look through this roller coaster section. 12.
Really
11,
trying to
12, 13.
Trying to unsettle Smith there. Just showing the car both sides. Not really any overlap, but just showing the performance of the Porsche and able to put it wherever he feels like it through that section of track there. Smith trying to make Smith feel a little vulnerable here. The Lambo.
I like the opportunity here at the back end. Still got 5.5 minutes left to go, so you can argue there's a couple of laps left in this thing. A couple of 3 laps, to be fair. So on the leader's position, and just thought I picked up on Bewley a little bit wide there. However, the gap's around 3 seconds. Been status quo for a while now. He pulled that gap out. And has held it pretty firm, so it's a great effort. However, Joseph Marnie, Mitchy Smith, that's a good battle.
The gap back to Firth is stretched to about 11 seconds now. So Firth struggling to come
Just
back up to, just to settle in there. Gunther Rowe.
Probably enough, 3.8 back to Gunther Rose. Probably enough with just over 4.5 minutes left to go.
Just chill out, Firthy. You know, you'll be right.
Oh, big look for Marnie now, down to turn 10 again. So they look strong down there in the Porsche under brakes on the Lamborghini. So, what a big look. Come up through this really exciting section here. Come out of 11 and then head up through 12, 13. It's a roller coaster opportunity to try and maybe go inside, outside here.
This is where the fight is.
100% throttle, and then a lift, and then back to 100%. And then really on the brakes here for 13, and then a big long straight. So the exit out of here kind of reminds me of a little bit of the back sector at Tailem Bend in Australia, this section of racetrack. Very, very unique piece of racetrack that these two share, and it's got that look about it. Even the final turn kind of gives me that feel. So interesting to know whether or not that the Shaheens maybe looked at this track and modelled it off of here. I'm not sure.
Oh, Smith trying to break that draft for Marnie down across the start-finish line this time. Marnie not chasing it.
Good under brakes, Marnie.
Oh, the Porsche, it's just stopping. I don't think he really even needs the draft from the Lamborghini to pull a couple of car lengths in the braking area there, J-Man. As we wind down, 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us again here tonight.
How's the drive over from Nathan Bewley? It's just outstanding. You know, he got the lead into turn one, lap one, and then just checked out to the 3.5 seconds at the moment. And the pace that these two are running, you know, there's only a handful of drivers to be able to run 201's race pace, and Bewley, Ichikawa, Matty Clark, and Steve Crossan are amongst them. Pretty elite company out there at the moment around the circuit, and they have actually, Nathan Bewley has made an absolute clinic of this racetrack. You know, obviously you mentioned at the top of the stream a little bit unfamiliar. A yellow flag rolling there. What's that?
I think that's Perkins
exiting the pit lane. So yes, stunning job, and we've got
Matty Clark just rolling across the start-finish line, currently holding down 3rd position. Can't see that changing anytime soon as we see Steve Crossland in 4th. An out-of-position car between himself and Clark. I think that might have been
Marnie with an overlap here, Davo, sorry. Marnie. He's got cams on there. He's going to run down the outside.
Healthy overlap here for Marnie.
Down to what'll be 14, 15. Doesn't quite get it there, but he's got the pressure on now. Good job. We're seeing how strong
look at him now.
Down into turn one last time around. He's a lot closer this time, so watch for a move here. Already Mitchie Smith covering the inside, and he'll need to, based on the performance under brakes. Oh, I see it
on the outside. Oh, does he get it done?
No question.
And gets it. Oh, can he make it stick? Smith. Pressuring on. It's on.
Contact there now. I just don't think his spatial awareness. I don't think he realised that it actually cleared the nose of Mitchie Smith, and probably gave him a little bit too much respect on that left-hand exit. And Mitchie Smith and Joseph Marnie, a little bit of a come together, but I tell you what, that's not done. There'll be one more to run based on what I saw from Bewley's car position. I think he's going to come around, and there'll be one more to run. So it'll be this lap for Joseph Marnie and Mitchie Smith plus one other, because we see this clock's winding down 24 seconds, and here comes Nathan Bewley to run it one more time. 7 seconds the margin between first and second, and then you've got about another 16 odd seconds back to Matty Clark. So they've really put on a show, the front two.
Oh, they have absolutely. Smith with a healthy gap now between Marnie. Marnie's just like, I think I'll just take this position. I'm happy with that. He does have Costas Makalois actually holding down 10th position there. Not too far behind as well. So those guys been circulating pretty closely throughout the past 60 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, in what is round 9 here at Bahrain in Rainlight Racing 2025 LMU Series Season 9 here for Rainlight Racing. One more lap to go. We have just gone 0. Bewley has cleared the start-finish line. Puts him on another lap. Ichikawa just been watching the back of that Porsche the whole race. J-Man Clark with an early pit stop. Probably didn't do himself any favours, but holding down podium position, 3rd. Can't complain from that. Steve Crossland currently 4th. Goddard in 5th after pipping Firthy in the pits for 6th. Now, Gunther Owen 7th, and Mitch Smith, Joseph Marnie. This is where the fight's been in the closing stages of the race, J-Man. They look like they've sorted it out, and it looks like Smith is going to run it home for the position. And here comes Nathan Bewley, ladies and gentlemen, taking out round 5 here at Bahrain for Rainlight Racing's 2025 LMU Series. That is Ichikawa flashing the lights in the background. Here comes Matty Clark in the Aston Martin. The classic green Aston Martin, and Steve Coughlin in the traditional black and orange papaya McLaren.
Pretty traditional.
George
awesome.
Goddard.
Goddard.
Nick Firth. Yeah. So, look, these guys, we just called those top 6. And that was all pretty close succession between those guys. So, top work for
over 60 minutes.
For those boys. Yeah, that's too true. 7th, a little bit of a gap back to 7th for Gunther Rowe, Richie Smith. And Joseph Marnie, that's where the entertainment's been the last bloody 20 minutes, I tell you. Oh, and that is Macrolos.
Macrolos putting on a show across the line.
Pete Dawson just out of the top 10 for Pete tonight here, round 5 at Bahrain. Under lights too, and it hasn't been spectacular. Plenty of sparks, plenty of glowing brake discs. Mr. Bateman in the Chevy. The Hemi Bateman in a Chevy. I don't know, just go figure. Yep. Adrian Kramer in the BMW running out 13. Shane Frodeno after 2 pit stops. Clearly making a little bit of mistake in the first one. Not topping that car enough, either with EV or fuel, or both. Rounding out the 14th there position. Sam Wozniak already back in the pits in 15th. Kenneth Woodstar in the 16th. Lily Glass in 17th. Running across the line. Lee Perkins in 18th. And Craig McConnell with a DNF Drayman.
Yeah, no, well, that is the field. So we will quickly run through the podium here. And we'll start with Matty Clark out of P3. So another fantastic performance from Matty Clark. He's in a sweet patch of form with his LMU racing at the moment.
Isn't he what?
Hey, fellas.
Hey, mate. Hey, look, another stellar job there, mate. Opted for the early pit stop tonight. Did the business last week. And then, mate, you're back to see us again. Once again, a couple of weeks in a row now. You're making a habit of making the podium here. Talk to us about that. Obviously, the start of that race and then the strategy to go early and then run that through at Bahrain. First time here. I guess for all of us in LMU, but maybe for some of us outright, there may be some drivers out there that actually haven't completed that. But how did that work out for you, Clarkie? Did you think that was about whereabouts you were tonight?
Yeah, 100. I seemed pretty early on. It seemed pretty early on that I didn't have the pace of Bewley and Isaac. Out of curiosity, did Crossy have any issues, or did he just drive his race into the pits and come out where he came out? Do you know?
Look, he made that spot over Nick Firth lap 1, and that's pretty much was his race. He ran a relatively quiet race, Clarkie. So,
I think in that case, it kind of would have made no difference whether I went for the preferred strategy of going long or not. I'd kind of done some testing, Jose and I both, which is why we came in on the same lap. Had done some testing throughout the week, and it seemed like doing either pitting early and changing the left side tires or going long and not changing tires worked out about identical race time. So I figured I'm in third. I'm not necessarily keeping pace with these guys. I might as well send it and see what happens, because if they start fighting, whatever happens, I could come out in front. But it doesn't shock me that they just kind of gap me. They had so much speed.
Yep. And tire wise, obviously those conditions in the night we saw. First time in a long time, actually, or maybe ever, that I've actually called a race where ambient conditions were higher than the actual track conditions. Obviously, we saw around 36 degrees ambient with 30 degrees track. What was tyre wear like out there, Matty? Was it not too bad?
Wasn't for me, and that's kind of why I went for that strat. The Bahrain is a tyre killer because it's got a really coarse track surface because it hasn't been resurfaced in like 20 years or something. So and with all the with all the right-handers, the front left especially goes real hard towards the end of the race if you don't change tire. The rights aren't too bad, but it does, by like the back third of the race, turns 10 and 11 are real lazy to get through. And it becomes a real struggle to get the car through there. But yeah, not too bad for me, simply because I did go for the tyre change, but I imagine when you talk to the other guys, it's going to be a different story.
Right. Okay. Hey, look, well, another outstanding performance, mate, and we're getting to the business end. The time of the championship, you actually start considering, where you might fall at the end of this thing, mate. And look, you're well in the hunt, Matty. Once again. So obviously,
Definitely.
Bewley with a little bit of an extension there, but hey, look, you're well in the mix, and I think there's probably. Obviously, I talked about the next three circuits being quite familiar, but with the likes of Qatar and I think Interlagos. I think that's going to throw a few cats amongst the pigeons there. So hopefully you're well in tune with those couple of odd ones out. But
I've not driven Qatar literally at all, but I know Interlagos well. So I think Interlagos should be a strong race for me. I have no idea what Qatar is going to be like.
Good stuff. We're looking forward to it. Well, a great performance once again, Matty Clark.
Awesome.
P3, round 5.
Thanks, fellas.
For the chat, mate.
Before I go, just quickly, I want to give a shout out to my boys, the Oklahoma City Thunder, for winning the championship today.
Nice.
Oklahoma
City Thunder.
Fellas. There you go. There you go. Kick him out of here.
Have a good one, boys.
Get him out.
There you go. Okay, so next cab off the rank with an outstanding drive, actually. Where is our boy? Trying to see if we've still got him in channel. Where is Isaac? There he is. He is still there. He wouldn't run away on us. He's not like that. Isaac, you got us on comms.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Mate, we're probably going a lot slower than you were tonight because that was fantastic. What a great battle. Great qualifying performance to start with, mate. Got to give you the kudos on that one. And then obviously went to battle with your mate Nathan Bewley there. Just talk us through that race there. And it was a bit of an arm wrestle for the first 20, mate, easily. And then obviously just a little gap. So just give us a rundown how you saw that play
out. So pretty much from the get-go, as always, Bewley's always quick with his race pace. So I just thought, I'm in P2 and I knew I had good race pace. I was practicing throughout the week. And I just thought, I'll just let him go. No point fighting him. I'll stick to him. Try and stick as close as I could to him. But obviously in the end, like you said, that gap, I think it went out to about 3 seconds at the end of the race. But yeah, really happy with the result. I've been waiting for a podium actually. So it's great to be in the hot seat with you guys.
Yeah, and look, talk to us about that too. Obviously settled in. You guys were clearly a cut above tonight. The top two really showed the class. Like really comfortable being able to sit in that 201 bracket. A lot of the field sitting in 202s, 203s. But talk to us about at the pace that yourself and Nathan were running. How affected did that front left get? Coming up through turns 12, 13, and then 14, 15, the right-handers, was that front left really starting to get punished, or not so bad?
Not too bad actually. I think it was more the left rear that was getting a bit punished, but the rest of the tires at the end of the race were about 60%, 70-ish%, so not even that worn.
Okay. And getting to this point of the series too, Isaac, obviously round 5's done and dusted. You're in the hunt. You're in the championship hunt, and I talked about it at the top end of the broadcast. I think you're around about. I'm going to argue maybe somewhere about 150, or maybe it was 250 off the lead of this thing. But you're starting to think championship mode now. You're starting to think. Look at the calendar and seeing where what's good and where you can maybe make bank, because obviously that was a really solid performance tonight. And are you looking at the calendar to see where you might be strong going for the back half of the series?
Unfortunately, I'll be missing a few rounds due to work, so just trying to have fun on the rounds that I can make. I know I'll miss I should be missing the next round. Imola I'll try and make, but more just having fun, mate. At the end of the day, just good racing, and not too fussed where I finish in the championship standings. I mean, as it is where I am currently, I'm happy with that. You know.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And like any day that you get to come down and have a chat down here means you've had a bloody good night. And yeah, it's certainly based on that performance. And I mean, you showed it from I was watching in official practice, and then obviously that qualifying was mega, and then that race just a cut above. You guys need to take a bow tonight because there's some phenomenal race pace on a track that you look pretty comfortable on, I might say.
Yeah, I didn't really have any issues with the track, to be honest. I enjoy the track. It's flowy, fast. It's good. But yeah, Nate's just a tad too quick with his race pace. But
Freak.
yeah, he is freak of nature, that boy.
Hey,
But
well,
I'd like to shout out to you guys too as well for streaming week in and week out, and those who do watch the stream. You know, it's always good to get some more numbers. So if you're keen to join Rainlight Racing, I'm sure Crossy or any of the other boys will be happy to point you in the right direction.
couldn't have said it better myself, Isaac. Well called, mate. Beautiful. So,
Awesome.
fantastic, mate. We love the support that we get from you guys. But man, you guys put on a show, make our job incredibly easy. So appreciate you always, Isaac. And look, enjoy that one, mate, because that was a stellar performance. Well done.
Cheers, boys. Have a good one, eh?
See you next week.
All right, that is Isaac from P2. All right, cometh the man, and look, I don't think there was any way of denying this guy the victory tonight because the race pace was phenomenal. All right, Nathan Bewley, you got us on comms.
Hey guys, how was it?
Well, mate, it's always good. You know, talking to you at the end of the night means that you've done something right, and it's becoming a bit of a habit for you to be in here. And obviously, if you're last in the queue, mate, you've done the best possible job. But that race pace, talk to us about that. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. I kind of did a bit of a practice earlier in the week just against the AI and had about the same race pace, but it was obviously colder conditions. I think it was like 17 degrees versus like I think we started at like 32 or something like that. So it was quite surprising to be like, you know, have that difference in tires, difference in temperature, sorry, and still the tires were still able to hang on through both of them.
Yeah, and so talk to us about obviously Isaac out there with an incredibly good qualifying lap. But look, I think you got it done turn one, lap one, and then really just focus forward. Talk to us about that race pace that you talked about, and I think you did start at 36 degrees ambient, and like I mentioned earlier in one of the little commentaries there, I think with maybe it was with Clarkey that it was 36 ambient and 30 degrees track, so the track was cooler than the ambient.
Yeah.
So talk to us about was the theory to go out and run long right from the get-go based on your practice during the week?
Yeah, there was. I mean, I kind of went in with like two strategies. It was all kind of dependent on what happened turn one, lap one. You know, if unfortunately there was accident or a spin or something that was going to be pit as early as I literally could to then still make it on the VE, or how it did play out in the end where it was go for as long as I can and then literally just put in the bare minimum VE and just get to the end.
Yeah, and so on that, Nathan, obviously we're at round 5 now, done and dusted. What can you tell us and what can you tell the viewers around that? You know, if you're going to reverse strategy, something like that due to a drama, could you argue that it was somewhere around about maybe 11 or 12 minutes into the race would be maybe enough to get the VE and fuel home, or is that a little too early?
No, I think that was very good. I think definitely in the Porsche, I think once it was full of fuel and VE, it could go 51 minutes. So if you were able to get like within the 10 minutes, so about like the 5 laps, you would have been able to then fill it all the way up and still make it home.
Yep.
Okay, so but that's not in general, right? That wouldn't be for every track. That was maybe based on the scenario here.
Yeah, that was definitely here.
Yeah. Okay. Now look, the guys were talking about obviously the abrasive surface here of Bahrain, obviously due to the track not being resurfaced in a long time, and I think sounded like Isaac didn't really run into too much issues, but Clarkey talked about the potential wear on the front left. I think Isaac talked about the rear left wore a little bit more than he thought. But, the pace you were running, and we saw you out to 3.5 seconds ahead of Isaac there at one phase in the race towards the back end. So it looked like you didn't let up. So talk to us about the tyre wear on your card. What, was it substantial? Was it, because it didn't look like it from where we were watching it.
No, I think it was pretty similar to Isaac. Like just before we came on, we had a bit of a draw, and it seemed like it was maybe like I was about 1% more wear on the rear in the Porsche, which I guess isn't too big since it's a bit of a slidey car. Like you can like slide it around into the corner, you can get a pretty good exit and all that. So yeah, and then we'd have got the fronts just hung on. I mean, it seemed like the car probably wasn't the best on like we've got obviously seen that in qualifying.
Yep.
But obviously in race pace it was quite good.
Yep. And so going forward now, I've asked the question a couple of times already tonight. Have you looked at the calendar? Obviously you're in a very, very good position in the championship to start maybe really controlling the pace and look, based on your previous performances and then that dominant one tonight, have you looked at the calendar? Is there any concerns going forward with the likes of Qatar or maybe Interlagos? Obviously, we've got the next three should be quite familiar to a lot of ACC drivers and sim racers out there. But looking at the calendar going forward, is there any reason for concern on tracks that you need more time at, or you're pretty comfortable with the lineup that we've got going forward?
I'd say probably the only one would be Qatar since it's like brand new.
Yep.
But other than that, yeah. But I mean, to be honest, it kind of feels like since it's probably at least 3 rounds away, it's kind of not pointless to practice now. But once we get closer and closer, it feels like ramping up just so then you kind of can go and just be like used to that track rather than like practicing now, then quickly jumping into Kota, and then the next week after that Imola, and then the week after that Interlagos, and then we finally get to Qatar.
Yeah, now look, it's unfortunate because I know you guys love supporting each other on track. Like the friendships and the gentleman rules out there at the moment look really, really good. And obviously, you'll be aware that Isaac's going to miss some of the racing going forward, which obviously bolsters the likes of Matty Clark in the championship forward, and we've got a Steve Crossland that's performing incredibly well at the moment. So obviously, you got guys that are going to keep you honest for the next 5 or so weeks. You're obviously aware of the competition around you at the moment.
Nathan? Yeah, I am. But at the end of the day, I'm mostly just here for fun.
Yep.
It's like obviously being able to win and just say a championship lead and all that. But at the end of the day, for me, it's more just having fun with people that enjoy sim racing and all that as well. So yeah,
100%.
Like I said.
We're just here to try and spice it up, mate.
Yeah, like I said to other people, to be honest, with the guys that we're racing with, I couldn't actually care less if I was winning or at the back of the grid because it's just fun to be here.
100%, mate, and it really shows. But that performance tonight, there was no doubt where you were heading based on the numbers. And look, it was so consistent. I was watching yourself and Ichikawa there through the mid phase of that race, and honestly, you were trading. You guys were trading. However, you'd made the margin. You'd made that 2.8 to 3.1 seconds, and the amount of time I looked at that margin and saw that it was 3.1 seconds through different deltas and sectors through the track was super consistent. So look, got to congratulate you on tonight's performance because that was definitely reminiscent of those drives that you're probably not going to forget for a while because it was very, very good. So well done, Nathan Bewley, on round 5 victory here at Bahrain. First time we've been here, first time we've ever commentated this track. So a couple of first times, obviously last week at Fuji and now this time at Bahrain. So you take the honours here. So well done, mate. Congratulations. Enjoy that one.
Cheers, guys, and thanks for the stream. Yeah, it'll be great to watch it back.
Awesome, mate.
Thanks,
well
Nathan.
Done. Cheers. So that is Nathan Bewley from P1 here at round 5. Davo, what a wrap.
Yeah, awesome stuff here again tonight at Rainlight Racing, ladies and gentlemen, with their 2025 LMU series. J-Man, great call, great race.
Yeah, and hey, look, another thing, obviously we've plugged tonight, rightfully so, Rainlight's Instagram, but those of you watching, I tell you what is a good watch is a Wednesday night. Steve Crossland, Crossy43, does Twitch a recap of the racing, and it's a fantastic watch. And I'm not sure if we've got the links for Crossy's Twitch here,
we can add them.
but yeah, I'll tell you what, it is a great watch. It's a great little recap on the racing of a perspective from what we've just broadcast here. But yeah, moving forward, what a fantastic night, Dave. Great night of racing here at Bahrain. What a fantastic track. Make me want to drive it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And under lights, spectacular to watch. Obviously, not just for us in the comms box here, but all the viewers that kindly joined us here again tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. There's a few ladies that join us these days too, lately. So supporting husbands, drivers, racers, awesome stuff. J-Man, we are heading off to next week. Where are we heading off to? I did mention it earlier. Let's have a quick look again. COTA, Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah,
back to somewhere they know and are familiar with. But in the LMU format. And mate, we can't wait. We're going to thank Rainlight Racing, SIMBLACKS, MATCHFIT Entertainment. Join us again next week, Monday night. Don't miss out. See you all again next week.
For now.